Hey guys, Wins here. This is my level 100 character, my Ellie Hit build. This is the update to my Ellie Hit Deadeye Prolif build that I posted on YouTube a while back. So I hit level 100, and then now I'm gonna show you the build update, what I changed, the final rundown, and everything of this build. But before we start, I'll showcasing the T16 map. This is an arcade map. Now arcade, I thought it was gonna be good because the definition card drops exalt card. It's not that good. So that was with 4 sextants, and then we're gonna put on Bisco's belt. Now, if you want pure damage, you will go Stormfire and you'll go Suffering. For this showcase, I'm gonna go Bisco's Inventor for some MF. So we'll quickly do the video. The clear speed showcase. And then I'll go through links, I'll go through boss killing setup, what you would change for bosses, what gems you will use, what kind of links. There are a lot of some off colors you could use for this bow. So this bow I'm using right now is 4 off color queen, 4 off color queen, 4 off color bow. Now 4 off color is reasonable in my opinion, maybe a few hundred chromatics, but what's not reasonable is 5 off color. So if you get 5 off color, great. You could use it. That was the boss. If you get 4 off color, there are some other gems you could use. I'll talk about that. Jinsol Variant, like I said earlier, resolves hard. It's gonna be a good boss killing with Calm's Heart, because Calm's Heart will put you to 6k HP. You could like Mind Over Matter. Well, I don't have Herald of Ash on. The Herald of Ash is a pretty good clear speed boost, by the way, because you do a lot of overkill. A lot of overkill is then igniting nearby monsters, and that's without Calm's Heart, or sorry, Grace. With Grace up, you could even be faster, because you have more evasion. But this is I took Grace off for Mind Over Matter. I got my 1 minute back. A lot of 6 links. Okay, it's buffering. Alright, that's a build showcase. Okay, so what I have here is Shaper Bow. This bow is not required at all. Shaper Bow is not required. You could go with Core Rain, you could go with 6-linked short bow from the Porcupine. You could go with Jinsol. Jinsol's best for single target. It's okay for clear speed too. And then this is with the Devotos with Ellie Hit enchant. You don't need an enchant. It's just for the attack speed. It's not build enabling. Devotos for clear speed. In the forest with Grace up and all my pots up. I'm at 46,000. That's the maximum MS. 45,000 is all you need. Biscos, Aventors, Rigwall. Rigwall is not needed. You could use Fracturing Spinner, which is kind of like a Rigwall with the Pierce, with Chain, with Fort. You could go with Shaper Bow Quiver, that gives you +1. You could Call the Brotherhood, converts 40% lightning into cold, 100% of cold is to fire. Therefore, 40% of lightning goes to fire with this ring, and then the other 50% of lightning through after fire turns to fire. So you're missing 10% lightning conversion. That's it. The math works out to be around 13.8% more damage. You could go with the rare ring. The belt is the Bisco's Leash, not a Headhunter. If you don't have a Headhunter, I highly recommend you get yourself 1 jewel here and 2 jewel here, 2 Inspire Learning. Get yourself a Mind Drinker, Blood Drinker, Nullification, Frenzy. Here you have Heartseeker, Survivalist, Herbalism, and Fervor. And then the boot is just a rare boot. My flasks here are Dying Sun. Dying Sun is not required. You could go with any other flash you want, maybe a sulfur flash for increased damage. Generic damage that increases your ignite damage also. I have a Jade, Quicksilver, a Adrenaline, Diamond Flask, and Stimulate Flask. Make sure these 3 flasks you have Warding, Heat, and Staunching. While it doesn't matter which one has which. With these and Tailwind up, and with my tree, you will have 46,000 evasion. 46, 45. Okay, now onto my tree. Nothing really changed much. Still going over to the after fire. Still grabbing Mind Over Matter for damage effectiveness because we don't normally use Grace. If you have a support or to play with that gives you Grace, perfect. If not, it's okay. It's not that much of a difference. The total tree has around, I think, 180 or higher life percentage. Although my life does look a bit low. If you have a Headhunter on, now we're at 5,100. So we're like 5,000 HP, 1.4 thousand mana. Mind Over Matter, it's not that bad. You could definitely get it up higher with Calm's Heart, like I said earlier. If you do choose to use Inspire Learning, find that you have the Combat Focus Jewel. You need to socket this somewhere else. How I did here last time. So I passed through it this way, got this jewel socket here instead of a jewel socket here, for example. And then I put the Combat Focus in here. Then my Inspire Learning go here. Okay, now I made a notepad showcasing. I just wrote some links. Here it is. So it's just just note basically on my thoughts on the links. So it's something visual for you to understand. Because I'm not doing those fancy editing where you have the gems showing up. But this is the best I could do right now. So for links here, for your AoE, you will have Ellie Hit with Adwa and GMP, Cold to Fire. This is all order of importance. And then Combustion with Ignite Prolif. Now, if you have a 5 link, you'll probably drop Ignite Prolif and you'll just go Pure on Head. Pure on Head is just totally fine. It just Prolif helps a lot against Beyond monsters that spawns. And they just die as they spawn. For a single target, you have Ellie Hit, Adwa, Cold to Fire. These 3 are a must because you don't have Pyre Ring, so you need Cold to Fire. And then here are all the links, all the gems that I think are good, depending on the color you get. So, if some people go like, is 5 off color mandatory? On my previous video, I had a 5 off color bow, and no, it's not mandatory. So if you have red socket, you fire pen, damage of full life. If you have a blue gem, combustion, LE focus, or crit damage, and if a green gem, slow projectiles. Now, my note here that LE focus is stronger out of all the blue gems, but you want to have combustion from your AoE before you put LE focus here. So let's say you're fighting a boss like Shaper, you want to put combustion on Shaper using your AoE GMP one, and then start using the LE focus on your single target. If that is too annoying for you and you don't like to put combustion or your AoE on your single target, then you could just do straight up combustion or crit damage. Yeah, I think combustion is better damage. If you have only one 6 link, let's say your bow, and then you don't have a 6 link, or you want to use Calm's Heart, go for Phosphono then. In Phosphono, you want to put LE Hit, Adwa, crit strikes, and then either combustion, LE focus, same scenario as previous. Now for your bow here, you could choose Quill Rain 6 link, very cheap, very easy to make because it's got a chance of Porcupine Bow, and Quill Rain is very fast. It's a good clear speed bow. I do recommend it if you are starting out and you want clear speed. The second option is to go with Porcupine Bow, a rare with a +3 gem. All you need is our Essence of Rage, Spite, or Sorrow, or even just a +2 bow from alt crafting. And you got attack speed and crit chance on it, hopefully. Craft one innate and 1 crafted. And hopefully you could have two prefix and 2 suffix. You could put Katarina cannot roll attack mods with 1 exalt. Then you could slam it for a guarantee +1 on a normal non-shaper bow. If you get +3 bow, to fire, to cold, to lightning, to bow skills, right? And then you got attack speed and crit chance, done. Easy to color too because low dexterity requirement. Next up, you have Jinsol, which is gonna be the best single target bow skill in the game for LE Hit, and I think it's the most powerful LE Hit variation all melee, wand, two hands, whatever you want, toss Ellie hidden. Because of the close range, 100% more damage. With point blank also stacking with it. So if you were to choose one bow, it would be Jinsol. Jinsol 6 link. It has 6.5% crit, which is good, and has attack speed 14% in local. So it's a good bow, good for clearing. You don't need the extra damage for clear speed. Ellie hit does it on its own, and Jinsol will be the best. One bow for single target, and one, or you can have just one, one bow throughout the whole game. Now onto the Elder and Shaper bow. These bows are just like niche, kind of like fun toys, because Elder and Shaper bow basically have really cool utility. They have like movement speed, plus one frenzy charge, crit multi, attack speed if you killed recently, crit chance if you killed recently, power charge and crit, calling strike. They have a lot of utility, right? So for Elder bow, you see here is that it's easy to get +3 because you could use the Katarina trick, cannot roll attack mons, and you can slam it for prefix, and it'll be a guarantee +1 because all Shaper prefix are all attack based. This is not the same for Shaper bow. Shaper bow has cast and crit, extra damage gain, extra physical damage gain as cold, and I think there might be one more. I'm not sure. So it's really hard for you to get a Paragon, which is +1 gem level. The Elder bow could get +1 arrow, so with another +1 +2 bow, you might be able to drop GMB. It has attack speed. If you killed recently, it has calling strike. These are some just good mods. There's some other useful mods you could get on an Elder bow. Now a Shaper bow, the only reason why I chose a Shaper and you will go Shaper bow is for the double damage mod. Now over here, my bow I have right here is 20% chance to deal double damage. This is basically like a Jinsol 1/5 of the time, but this also works for far range. So I use this for clear speed and boss kills. But if I were to kill Shaper or Guardian or Red Elder, I'll probably use Jinsol. Okay, now for the helmets. So there's quite a lot of questions about why not Frost Inferno. For me, it's because I chose Devotos. Devotos has clear speed, movement speed, which improves my clear speed. This character was a clear speed build using Cone of Forest and Devotos. Devoto is completely optional, just movement speed, 20 movement speed, and while also giving you attack speed and Chaos Res. Chaos Res is very useful against Young, Chaos Cloud, and Incursion this league. Incursions have a lot of poison, chaos based monsters. Light Poacher is another good helmet. Light Poacher, 2 socket jewels. Light Poachers are always good for any attack based build because the jewels are very highly customizable. You could get like 250 HP ones, for example. There's a 100 HP helmet, that's really good. Has what, 15 RS on the helmet. That alone is like a rare. And then you have, onslaught on kill, flat damage, attack speed on kill, or attack speed on crit. You have a lot of options on the jewels. The Light Poacher gets better the more jewels you invest in. Now Frost Inferno here is like a pseudo 6 thing, has cold to fire, level 30, has +3 cold, +2 fire. Basically like an empower. So it kind of turns out to be like a 6 link. If you get a corruption one with a +2 to AoE, +2 fire, +2 cold, then it becomes even better than a 6 link. It has dual res, mana regeneration, very good helmet in my opinion. The only reason I'm not using it is because I want clear speed and movement speed. If you have a Frost Inferno, that means you don't need a 6 link bow, or you don't need a 6 link chest. That means you could use a Calm's Heart, for example. Or you could just level up more gems from the chest or your bow. And then the other good helmets, if you're more budget, would be Starkondra, generic life, generic attack speed, crit, evasion, not bad. Other one is just a rare helmet, the worst one of all in my opinion. But Elder, rare helmet could get an attack crit chance on it. And I think Immolate. So kind of a pseudo 6 link here too. Now, for my chest, I chose Queen of Forest. Like I said, movement speed, clear speed. But you could go Calm's Heart for effective health pool. You could go Lore Weave, actually, I forgot to add this one. Lore Weave is like a defense and offense same time. elemental damage, crit chance, life, all stats, 80%, maximum rest will be the one you're looking for. Amulet. Now this one is a bit, have a lot of options. So I chose the Yoke of Suffering because shock is really easy to do on this build because elemental hit has like 49% or 50% chance of shock. That alone is easy. You crit build too, so every time you crit, you will shock. If you deal 10% of target's HP, you will be shocking them at 50% maximum. And that's really easy to do on an LE hit build. Your LE hit is like one single hit that does a lot of damage. Therefore, you could have 50% shock on Shaper, Uber Elder very easily. Now for Zov's Heart, not only is it costly, but you're also limited to only that amulet. Because if you're going Zov's Heart, most likely you'll be traveling all this way for After Fire. If you don't have After Fire, this build will not work that well at all. Therefore, you cannot use Discos, you cannot use Quantity's Amulet. Sorry. Yeah, so you travel all the way here. So that means you can't use Biscos, you can't use Spine-Fused Talisman, you can't use Rare Amulets, you can't use Shaper Quantity Amulets. So yeah, you can't use other amulets, but you gotta travel for but you get to save points traveling to AOF. That means you could spend your points on going to Duelist for more life, more movement speed, accuracy, whatever you want there. Alright, lastly, for rings, you have Call the Brotherhood, which is approximately around 13.8% more multiplier because of the 40% lightning is converted to fire. That's not damage. Opal Ring with like projectile damage, our Elder Opal Ring, or generic fire damage increase, or crit multi, all these other rings could be more approximately similar damage, but also giving you life and resistance. Another option is to go Pyro Ring. If you use Pyro Ring, that means you will not require Cult of Fire Gemlings, so you could put in 4 DPS multiplier gem on your single target and your AoE. However, you lose the ability to ignite Prolif because the corpses are destroyed. Now this may not be a bad thing for like say hardcore or just safety because the corpses are destroyed so they don't get DD. And then lastly, you could just use a rare ring, a rare opal ring, diamond ring, rare resistance ring, whatever you need. Alright, so that's all the gear choices I have for this build. I forgot about Rigwald's quiver. Yeah, Rigwald, like I said earlier, was really good because what happened is the projectile will fork. The one projectile will turn to 2 projectiles that forks, and then these 2 projectiles will then chain. So you have double the projectiles theoretically than your typical 5 projectiles, if given that you hit a monster. Now you could use Fracturing Spinner, you could use a rare +1 Shaper, a corrupted +1 quiver, a corrupted +1 chain quiver could be really good too. If you go pure pierce instead of chain, like a Deadeye, you could definitely use a drill neck. Okay, I think that is everything. The boot wise, there's a rare movement speed boot for me. Enchant for boots, attack speed is pretty good. Leech is good if you need it, however you don't really. Movement speed, if you have not been hit recently, probably the best one for clear speed. For boss killing, 1 to 160 lightning damage, or 10% penetration. 10% penetration should be the best one. Now my tree here is I ricochet for the chain. Obviously tailwind, far shot. Here, fast and deadly. Accuracy being doubled means you don't need accuracy on your gear really, so I have like 92% chance to hit without any accuracy investment. So it's really nice. If you don't see value in accuracy, and you don't see any value in blink arrow cooldown, because blink arrow cooldown is really nice for me. It's like run around, blink arrow. So I like that for moving fast. If you don't want that, you could definitely go for Endless Munitions, which gives you 50 AoE Prolif, 50 AoE Heart of Ash, AoE on your ally hit, and also gives you an additional projectile, and 200 accuracy flat. Your leech here comes from Blood Drinker. This 0.4 attack damage leech is all you need. That is more than enough for boss kill because you do so much damage that you can only regenerate 20% of your life, right? 20% of your life per second. So you hit your leech cap pretty easily with Blood Drinker. And then your mana leech will come from this one point right here called mana leech. 0.4 attack damage. If you use Inspired Learning and you grab Mind Drinker, this one gives you 0.4. Therefore, you don't need mana leech node here. Aside from that, I think that is everything I have. The Washer's Eye I'm using right now is just a 15% movement speed by Grace. But for boss killing, Anger penetration is pretty good if you use Anger. But I don't, so it doesn't really matter for me. Alright guys, I think that's everything I have. I want to talk about this build. Had level 100, had a fun time, really fast build, really fast clear speed, really fast single target. I was able to do every single Omni attack, every single Volt Omni attack at 83 without dying at all. I was doing every single Abyssal Death, killing liches, no problem. So I was having really fun with this build. I felt like it had no downside at all, outside of being able to shatter for one purposes, you know. So I really enjoyed this build. Really hard to play a different build with the same expectations now. I hope you guys have a great time playing this build or something similar to this build, and hopefully this video was informative. Please leave any questions you have or any feedback you have on the YouTube comment section, and I'll try to reply to them as soon as possible. Thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you guys next time.